All right, so get this. We're talking Asteroid Bennu. And remember that mission, where they grabbed a piece of it and brought it back?
Oh yeah, like a cosmic time capsule.
Turns out it's not just some random space rock.
It's giving us clues about the early solar system. Scientists are finding hints about how life even got started.
Wait, really? Like the origins of life? That's huge.
It really is.
Huh.
DNA, right? The blueprint of life.
Yeah, of course.
Well, imagine the pieces, the building blocks to even make that blueprint. They're finding them on Bennu. Amino acids, those things that make proteins, and nucleobases, like the letters that spell out DNA and RNA.
No way. So it's not just that life could have existed out there, but the ingredients were just kind of scattered around like cosmic dust bunnies or something.
Exactly. And it's not like just a few molecules here and there. We're talking 14 of the 20 amino acids that are used by life on Earth,
Wow.
plus all 5 of the nucleobases, the crucial ones.
So it's like a starter kit for life, basically. Is that on every asteroid out there then?
Well, not necessarily. See, what makes the Bennu samples so important is that they're pristine,
Okay. Right.
untouched since, well, the very beginning of the solar system.
Mhm.
So we know what we're seeing is the real deal. No contamination. And it gets even more interesting.
Okay, lay it on me.
They found a ton of ammonia and formaldehyde.
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember those from chemistry class.
Right. But think of those as like pre-ingredients. Under the right conditions, they react, and then you can form those amino acids we talked about.
So like Bennu had the starter kit, but it could also make even more complex stuff.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like finding a bakery with flour and a sourdough starter already bubbling away. Amazing. So what else was going on this space rock? I mean, was it just like a dry rock?
So get this. It actually seems like Bennu wasn't always dry.
Yeah.
The samples show it used to be soaking wet. Like there's tons of these evaporite minerals.
Evaporite.
Basically, like when salty water dries up, it leaves that kind of residue. That's what these minerals are.
Wait, hold on. Are we talking about like puddles or was Bennu swimming in an ocean?
Maybe not an ocean exactly, but definitely a substantial amount of water. Imagine like a salty pool, and it's simmering away, and all those building blocks we talked about are just swirling around.
Bumping into each other.
Yeah, and potentially forming even more complex compounds.
My brain is officially glitching. Okay. A wet asteroid with ingredients for life. Are we talking about some kind of intergalactic primordial soup situation here?
That's not far off. And you know what? These salty, watery places might be more common than we thought.
Really?
Yeah, like Ceres and Enceladus, there's signs they might have them too.
So Bennu wasn't the only one rocking that wet and wild look back in the day. It's like the early solar system was having a pool party. But okay, here's the thing. If all these ingredients are out there, why haven't we found life anywhere else yet?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's like the universe has the ingredients, but so far, Earth is the only place we know of that's made the dish we call life.
Maybe Earth is just a really good cook.
Or maybe there was something unique about our planet that made it the perfect spot for life to really get going.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out, right? and Bennu's giving us clues, but there's also something else, something even weirder.
Oh, tell me more.
Okay, you said something about the handedness of molecules, right?
Oh, yeah?
It rings a bell from like biochem or something. Isn't it about how life uses only one hand of certain molecules?
That's it. So, a lot of molecules, like those amino acids, they come in 2 forms that are mirror images of each other, like your left and right hand.
Okay, I'm picturing my hands. So what's the big deal about that?
Well, life on Earth, it's a bit picky. It pretty much only uses the left-handed versions of amino acids. But here's the thing. The samples from Bennu, they've got a perfect mix of both the left and right.
So it's like that friend who only eats the red M&Ms.
Pretty much.
But why would life choose one over the other? Was that just like a random choice?
That's the thing. We don't know. It could be that on early Earth, the building blocks started out balanced, but then something tipped the scales toward left-handedness.
That's a head scratcher for sure. Could life have even formed with the right-handed ones? Maybe Earth's the weird one.
It's possible, and it just shows, how much we still don't know about the origins of life. We've got the ingredients, we're seeing possible environments, but the recipe, the exact steps, it's still a mystery.
It really is. Like, we have this giant puzzle, and Bennu just gave us some new pieces, but we're still figuring out where they go. Hold on, though. There's another piece we need to talk about.
You're right. There's actually one discovery that's completely unique. Never been seen before in an extraterrestrial sample.
Ooh, a brand new space mineral. I am all ears.
It's called trona.
Trona doesn't really scream, rare space treasure.
Well, it's not about the name. It's about what it tells us. This is the first time trona has been found in, an extraterrestrial sample.
Oh, okay. So it's like a message in a bottle from the early solar system.
Exactly. And remember how we were talking about Bennu's watery past? Well, trona basically confirms that. See, it only forms in super specific conditions when salty alkaline lakes dry up slowly over a long time.
Hold on. So finding trona is basically the ultimate proof that Bennu was soaking in a salty pool billions of years ago.
You got it. It's like, how we said those evaporite minerals were like a bathtub ring?
Yeah.
Well, trona is like finding the remnants of the bath bomb that someone threw in. It not only means there was water, but a specific type of water, the kind that could have dissolved carbonates, like the stuff that makes seashells.
Wow. Okay, now I'm really getting a picture of what Bennu was like. Not just a dry, dusty rock. It was dynamic. Liquid water, salts, carbonates. It sounds almost Earth-like in, a weird alien way.
It does, doesn't it? It really paints a picture of an environment where, the building blocks could have done their thing and formed something more complex. And remember, we see those watery environments on other bodies, too.
Yeah. Ceres and Enceladus.
Right.
Okay, but it goes back to that question, right? If this was so common, why is Earth the only place we know about with life?
It is the big question. It's like the universe set the table for life, but only one guest showed up to the party. Why?
Maybe Earth just got lucky. Won the cosmic lottery or something.
That's possible. Or maybe there's something more to it, some unique thing about our planet that made it just right for life.
It's kind of humbling, We think we're the center of everything, but maybe we're just a tiny speck in a universe full of possibilities.
And that's not a bad thing. It means there's so much more to learn, so much more to explore.
So what's next? What now?
Well, research on the Bennu samples, that's just beginning. Years, maybe even decades of analysis ahead of us. And we need to keep exploring. Send missions to places where life might be.
Like those icy moons we were talking about, Europa and Enceladus, right? The ones with the hidden oceans.
Exactly. They're like top contenders for finding life. And then there's Mars. It's pretty dry and dusty now, but there's evidence it used to be much wetter, maybe even habitable.
Wow, so many places to explore. It really feels like we're on the edge of a whole new era of discovery.
And who knows what we'll find? Maybe signs of ancient microbial life on Mars, or, those hydrothermal vents spewing chemicals on Enceladus, creating a perfect little spot for life.
The possibilities are, they're endless. It's enough to make you want to pack your bags and head for the stars.
Maybe one day. But for now, we can all be a part of this journey.
Right.
Just by staying curious, asking questions, and following what scientists are finding out.
Yeah. And this whole deep dive into Bennu, it's changed my perspective. It's not just about finding aliens anymore. It's about understanding our place in this whole crazy universe.
Recognizing that, the ingredients for life, they're everywhere, just waiting to be discovered, waiting to tell their stories.
So to our listeners, we want to leave you with this thought. Next time you look up at the stars, remember, you're looking at a universe full of possibilities, and the building blocks of life, they're out there. And who knows what amazing forms they might have taken? Keep asking those big questions, stay curious, and keep exploring. You never know what wonders you might find.
Until next time, keep diving deep.
Okay, I can handle a little suspense, but Kron, you can't just drop a bombshell about a brand new space mineral and then go radio silent on me. What is it?
All right. The mineral, it's called trona.
Trona. Okay, I'm not going to lie. That doesn't exactly sound like some rare space treasure. What's so special about it?
It's not really about the name itself. It's more about what it tells us about Bennu.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time trona's ever been found in a sample from space.
So it's not just some random rock. It's a clue, like a real clue.
Exactly. Remember all that talk about Bennu having a watery past? Well, trona backs that up big time. See, it only forms under very specific conditions, like when salty alkaline lakes evaporate, but really slowly over a long period.
So finding trona is like finding proof positive that Bennu really did have those pools of salty water billions of years ago?
Think of it this way. If those other minerals, those evaporites, were like the bathtub ring, then trona, that's like finding the remnants of the bath bomb someone tossed in.
Okay, I like that analogy.
It tells us there wasn't just water, but it was the right kind of water, the kind that could dissolve carbonates, the stuff that makes seashells or limestone.
Okay, so now I'm getting a much clearer picture of what Bennu might have been like. It wasn't just some boring hunk of rock, right? It
Yeah.
was a dynamic place. Liquid water, salts, carbonates. It's almost, I don't know, Earth-like, but in a weird alien way.
Right. It really does make you think about an environment where the building blocks of life could have been interacting, maybe even becoming more complex. And remember, we're seeing signs of these watery environments on other celestial bodies too.
Yeah, like Ceres and Enceladus. So maybe instead of looking for little green men, we should be looking for little green oceans, right?
Exactly. And remember, we're not talking about just any random puddles here. These are environments where life could have, well, maybe even gotten its start. But it brings us back to that question, right? If all this was so common, why are we the only ones?
Yeah, why is Earth the only planet we know of with life? It's like the universe set the table, but only Earth showed up for dinner.
It's a real head scratcher. Maybe Earth just got lucky. Right place, right time, all the right ingredients mixing in just the right way.
Maybe. Or maybe there was something else, something special about Earth that made it, I don't know, extra hospitable. That's what we're trying to figure out, right?
Absolutely. And,
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing what we can learn from these little pieces of an asteroid.
It is. But you know what else is amazing? The science behind it all. Sending a spacecraft millions of miles, collecting those samples, bringing them back, that's insane.
I know. It's like something out of a movie, but it actually happened.
It really shows you what humans can do, the ingenuity, the patience. I mean, this mission took years and years. It's like one giant science project.
It shows that the big breakthroughs, they don't happen overnight. It takes a lot of planning and technology, collaboration, and a lot of dedication from so many people.
And then there's analyzing the samples back here on Earth. I can't even imagine trying to handle those things without contaminating them. They're like tiny time capsules.
I know, right? Every breath, every touch, it's like you could introduce something from Earth. So to study the samples, to see the real Bennu, scientists had to create these special clean rooms,
Wow.
use special tools, and just constantly be checking to make sure there wasn't anything that didn't belong.
It's a good reminder that science isn't just about the big ideas. It's about that super detailed work.
It is. It's about observation and testing and questioning everything. And it's about working together. Remember, this wasn't just a NASA mission. There were scientists from all over the world.
Wow. So it was like a global science party, all focused on this one tiny piece of an asteroid. So what are we going to do with all this new knowledge? Where do we go from here?
Well, the journey is just beginning. We've got to study these samples more, do more experiments, and compare what we're finding to other missions. Like Hayabusa 2, that brought back samples from Ryugu.
More space missions, more lab analysis, more piecing together that cosmic puzzle. It sounds like we've got our work cut out for us.
We do, but it's pretty exciting work, wouldn't you say? Unraveling the mysteries of life itself.
Totally. But before we get too lost in the weeds, let's talk about the big picture for a second. What are the implications of all this?
You're right. We need to talk about what it means. Finding the building blocks of life on an asteroid. What does it tell us about the possibility of life elsewhere in the universe?
Now, those are the questions I like. I bet our listeners are wondering the same thing. Let's dive into that right now.
Sounds good to me. Let's go.
All right, so we've got Bennu, right? With its watery past and its building blocks of life, and of course Trona, that brand new space mineral. We talked about the science behind all of it and how these findings are like changing what we thought we knew about, the early solar system. But now let's get to the big questions. What does this tell us about life beyond Earth?
I mean, that's the question, right? It's what's driven science for, I don't know, forever. Are we alone? And the findings from Bennu, they're like a beacon showing us the potential for life, somewhere else.
Because if the ingredients are just floating around out there, there's a chance they got together somewhere else too, right?
Yeah, exactly. We used to think Earth was this special oasis, in a barren universe. But now we're seeing that the building blocks, they might be more common than we thought. And it's not just the molecules themselves, it's the environments. Those pools on Bennu, they're a glimpse into a world where the chemistry of life, maybe it all started there. And remember, we're seeing hints of similar environments on other bodies too.
So we're not just looking for aliens anymore. We're looking for their oceans, their hot springs, maybe even their tide pools. It's like the universe is saying, hey, there are a bunch of places where life could be cooking. You just got to find them.
And who knows what that life might look like? I mean, we're so used to thinking about life as we know it, but what if there are creatures that breathe methane instead of oxygen? or thrive in temperatures that would just freeze us solid.
Okay, now you're just messing with me. But seriously, it is mind-blowing to think about all the different ways life could have evolved, you know? It's like we've only seen one page in this huge encyclopedia of life.
And that's what makes all this so exciting. We're not just searching for life, we're trying to figure out what life even means.
Okay, but here's the thing. If the potential for life is everywhere, why haven't we found it yet? Why is Earth the only planet we know of that's just teeming with life?
It is the ultimate puzzle, isn't it? Like having all the pieces but not knowing how they fit together. Maybe Earth just, I don't know, won the cosmic lottery. Or maybe there's something else going on, something we haven't even considered yet.
Yeah, it's humbling, right? We're so used to thinking we're at the center of everything, but maybe we're just a tiny speck in this universe full of endless possibilities.
And that's a good thing. It means there's so much more to learn, to explore.
So what's next? Where do we go from here? You know, in our quest to find out about life and where it came from, and is there more out there?
Well, the research on those Bennu samples, that's just getting started. Years of analysis ahead. And we need to keep sending missions out there, you know, to those intriguing places where life might exist.
Like Europa and Enceladus. The ones with those hidden oceans?
Exactly. They're top contenders, yeah. And then there's always Mars. You know, it's pretty dry and dusty now, but there's signs it was once much wetter, maybe even habitable.
So many places to go, so many questions. It feels like we're right on the edge of a whole new era of discovery.
And who knows what we'll find? Maybe signs of ancient microbial life on Mars. Or maybe those hydrothermal vents, you know, on Enceladus, spewing out those chemicals and creating just the right environment for life to thrive.
The possibilities they really are endless. It makes you just want to, you know, pack a bag and head for the stars.
Maybe one day. But for now, we can all be a part of this journey, you know, just by staying curious, asking questions, and seeing what scientists are finding.
Yeah. And you know what? This whole deep dive talking about Bennu and everything, it's changed how I see things. It's not just about finding aliens anymore. It's about understanding where we fit in this whole crazy cosmos.
Recognizing that the ingredients for life, they're out there, everywhere, waiting for us to find them and waiting to tell their stories.
So to our listeners, next time you look up at the night sky, remember, you're looking at a universe full of possibilities. And the building blocks of life, they're out there. And who knows, maybe they took some pretty amazing forms. Keep asking those big questions, stay curious, and keep exploring. You never know what wonders are out there waiting for you to discover.
Until next time, keep diving deep.